All right, we're right into the action here. Round one between Nouns and Legacy. And we see on the Nouns side, Junior rocking the dualies. Everyone else on... Wait, whoa.
Well, that's why I was confused.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by this HUD. We got players from Nouns on Legacy and vice versa. I guess we'll just have to call the action with Crab. Junior is going to get one onto Dumao. Barton finds the immediate trade. They could get control of the site here, and they absolutely will. A blistering shot from the keys right in front of his teammate. Takes out CJ and secures a plant.
Yeah, they got so much control as well. Look at that, they're already in towards CT. They've got a one player watching the flank as well. Jeorge is going to have to hit an instant headshot, and it's already been jiggled out by Nekiz. Well played. It's going to be a very hard job to get back into this one. A goosh on Carson. He is now 3 HP and run down by Sadzin. That's just too strong. This is now just going to be way too difficult, you'd think. They're going to try a tap on the bomb, but no kit in play. Like we said, there's going to be a triple swing in towards CT. And the T side, I can assure you it's the T side. They'll be singing I'm Blue, Dabba Dee Dabba Da right now. There we go. All sorted. They'll take the pistol.
Yeah, just the HUD needed a bit of a wake-up call. We had to tap it and say, hey, wake up.
It's like when you have an old car and you just like the dashboard's not working, you just give it a thwack and it starts working again.
Exactly. 1-0 for Legacy. Speaking about the record for both teams here over the last 3 months on the maps, 8-1 for Legacy. The only loss was actually to the Fluffy Hamers, interestingly enough. That team's kind of been making waves lately as well.
Got Marky now, no?
They did, but he hasn't been playing over the last month.
Okay.
I don't know if he's still technically on the roster, but he's not been in the matches. It's been the coach A that's been playing in his place. So we'll see how that works out. I'm still hoping he does end up, on the team full time, because when I saw him play with them, they looked great. Anyway, back to the action here. Nouns 13-5 Mirage, actually a little less strong than they've been on the map over the last 3 months. They had been such a dominant force. I think they had like a 12 or 15 game win streak at some point, but eventually teams have figured out what they like to do, and that's take a lot of mid control, in particular Carson, even on their CT side. Going to be the first frag coming through here for Legacy, 5v4.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it's a good map for both teams, but as you rightly mentioned, Legacy only losing one is pretty impressive. Sure, there's a lot of teams in North America that they'd be expected to beat pretty much every single time, but we're still going to get it over the line. CJ, or he'll be spotted, I'm afraid. Strafing from CT to triple, and of course we know triple is a bit paper thin, and Lato will just collect that headshot straight through it. Carson doesn't really have much choice other than to save this 5-7. Do we know? Okay, Dumao died near A, and there's no way to collect what he had, I'm afraid. So, yeah, I think one kill in con here would be nice. He's trying to jiggle out Barton. Can he do it? There's a second player to help now. Sadzin's here too, and Nekiz can just jump on him. There we go. Good team play. As soon as they realise where he came from, they didn't just peek him one by one because they're thinking to themselves, oh, it's just a 5-7. You can't say that. You've got to peek them properly, and they do as a 3.
Yeah, so nicely done from Legacy in the opening rounds. That was a force buy from Nouns that got completely rebuffed, so that means Legacy can build up a little bit of their economy. Sure, there's a reinvestment for Dumao, but everyone else is in fairly solid shape. On the Nouns side, they do decide to invest in a couple of pistol upgrades, Rush and Jeorge, with a P250 and a 5.7 respectively, and 2 pieces of util. That's a couple of flashbangs. An A stack on the cards for Nouns. Legacy, I think they might be leaning B eventually. I'm not sure. It depends on where Barton goes and if he finds that space. It looks like he's going to double back here from underpass and go back towards the apartments.
Yeah, for Legacy, it's just a matter of getting this round done as cleanly as possible. Want to build up that money straight away. They already have, to be fair. That second round was pretty clean, but they get the opportunity to bolster it ever further here, and full mid control is a good call on a round like this. As you say, they've got to try and feel out the stack right now. That could be a tasty nade, and actually it'll dunk CJ straight up. Poor lad, already gone. And the other pistols might not be long for this world. They've got that's actually the bomb. Stop holding this, please. Please go and help out, please.
Oh my god.
They've got the bomb on short. Surely Dumao gets more than one. He doesn't. 3v3. They can still jiggle out the bomb stuck on short here. And Carson is close, but Nick is... He's going having to try and find a way to collect it. It's a bit nervy, but there we go.
That's still weird, right? Because that's just USPs coming up from Nouns. A couple of pistol upgrades, but still, they got 2 players. Carson could even have a third here. Oh, just short of it. Barton was his potential victim, but Nikiz comes to the rescue and takes care of business. So Legacy, they're okay. They lose 2 bodies, but they keep it healthy otherwise, even though it looked a little messy. And like you were saying, I mean, no business having the bomb out in the open by yourself in that situation. You can hold that angle, no problem. Just make sure you go and drop the bomb to your teammates onto that B site that you just came from and make sure they can take care of everything in terms of the bomb plant while you go on your little journey.
Like, there was nothing wrong with that in such. It was just he had a very easy opportunity to lob the bomb, at least over the short bricks, right? And that even if he doesn't pass it to a teammate directly, he would have dropped it out of the way. So it complicated things for no reason. Sure, it's a round that didn't really have too much risk overall, but this one does. Junior's got his AWP out, and they're trying to go for a B contact play. Hits one. Junior will go down after that, though. Thankfully, Rush is delivering. Oh, he hits another dink. And now it's a 2v3. Carson rotating in. Might mean this is too hard for Lato.
Maybe. Doesn't that bomb control? Yeah, that makes it a lot harder. He has 1 minute and 9 seconds left on the clock, but I think the big task here is not the timer. It's trying to isolate fights, and Carson and Jeorge are playing off of each other. And then you have CJ waiting at Cat to kind of pick up the pieces if everything goes completely wrong. Good Molotov thrown. That'll force Carson away from bench. Leaves Lata with 1 less place to check, but he's still got a ton of angles to clear out as he charges towards this B site. He will be exposed to Cat here. CJ's holding a passive angle, though. He doesn't want to take the fight immediately, leaving contact to his teammates, and that'll do it with Jeorge finding the headshot. Nouns are on the board.
3 players alive as well. Handy. Much different than just 2. Did well to not let Lato get some sort of stranglehold of that clutch. Of course, Legacy can repurchase. There's going to be only a Tech 9 on Lato, but good utility on everyone. Important for Nouns that they're able to keep that up, of course, as well. Smoke bottom con, waiting for it to affect that molly, but actually it doesn't affect it at all. And Junior, very aggressive. He's going through the bottom smoke as well. That's kind of wild, and he gets punished for it.
Yeah, I mean, Nouns love this aggressive mid-control. We talked about it earlier. Dumau punishing it. 2 beautiful headshots. Crispy stuff there. CJ manages to get one back, but it is a Legacy advantage. 3v2. Okay, 2v2. CJ cooking a little bit here. His first 2 frags of the map, but coming at an important time. Dumau and Sadzine have to recover that bomb and decide where they want to end up. And right now, they're each isolated. So Carson, if he spots out Dumau, and he looks like he will. Yeah, Dumau not even ready for that fight. That means it's a 2v1 in favor of Nouns and no bomb control.
Sadzine trying to go very silently about this, and this could be pretty genius. Okay, never mind. Carson repositioned him to a very awkward position, so absolutely the right thing to do, to go for the kill, and CJ perhaps not expecting Sadzine just to immediately reface him after he saw him. And, well, he does, and kills him.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame him, honestly, not expecting that reface, because usually a player in that position would say, okay, I don't want to fight that again. I want to go get that bomb, right? Instead, no, he fights. And CJ, I guess we could sort of argue that he shouldn't have been there anyway. Probably should have gone to the bomb in the same kind of circumstances in his mind, saying, okay, I should defend the bomb, not necessarily go for this fight when try to burn time off the clock. Anyway, it doesn't work out for Nouns. Their round victory is isolated, and CJ will get a hero A1S in his hands. A little bit of aggression, a lot of bit of aggression from Nouns. They're charging down that ramp. They're already in towards T-spawn. I think Lato has heard this, or they heard each other, because Nouns have all of a sudden just completely backed off here. It must have been the utility that triggered Nouns to back off, because they saw the mid-control that Legacy was going for, and they only have 1 player on B, that's Rush, with an MP9, but Rush is going to pop off for 1, maybe a second. No second, and now 4v4 as Nouns are going to have to defend this B site.
Yeah, he needed that second. Junior is trying to be cheeky by playing inside this smoke, but surely at some point he'll get cleared. That Molotov won't touch him, actually. But he's going to have to move at some point. CJ is now on the scene, though, and that could make things more difficult. Dumao does well, but there's Judy actually getting that one kill in the end. Button knows he has to push forward, and he will. But look how low they are. Carson's picked up an AK. Hold your horses. 27 and 26 HP, but this nade... Oh, he just skirts past it. Still got the bomb underneath his control, and he finds one and the second. These rounds are back and forth in pretty stunning fashion.
That is something else from Carson. He has some time. He's capable of those plays. I would say all of Nouns are capable of those ridiculous clutches. And there, I mean, Carson just hitting his shots beautifully. And Legacy, letting one slip away a little bit there. Nouns find themselves a second. So we're going back and forth on a bit of a roller coaster ride here between both squads. And you're seeing Legacy don't want to give up the control that they have in terms of the lead and the momentum in the match. So they go for the force buy here.
Yeah, they want to give up the economy as well. They'll know that Nouns winning that round with just one player alive, that they're going to have nothing built up on the other four. So full Tech 9 buy with Util. Going to be a bit of an A-pop here. And maybe even a pounce through Palace as well. One thing that I think was quite evident by how Sadzin played his clutch before Carson's clutch. Actually, you know, I'll actually... say that Carson kind of played it the same way, to be fair. It shows that these two teams play with confidence and they just don't let any sort of long drawn out 1v1 get caught out in a long drawn out 1v1 when they know they can just go for a peek and use their superior aim in certain scenarios. And Sadzin in particular been pretty insane in North America, and Legacy have so much confidence in North America with how much they're winning at the moment, how good their win streak is. So maybe that's why they're playing like that. And they're actually out-ramp a lot faster than Nouns are expecting. Carson's a bit whiffy, but he does get one, but it's only one. 3v3.
It feels like sometimes when you don't get your spray on the first one, but you still get the kill, the second one doesn't come as easily or doesn't come at all, and that's what happened there. Carson whiffing a little bit on the spray, and then on the second time he got a chance, he could not connect. Junior is still alive over in CT here. He does get one. Now it's up to Sadzin and Dumao, and only Dumao, who gets aggressive because he figures he has to, and it doesn't work out for him either. All three players gone, and Nouns will win. At least for Legacy, they get a bomb plant, but this is an eco that's going to come through.
Yeah, bomb plant gives them a little bit extra, but it should be a relatively similar buy, actually, maybe with just lacking Kevlars instead. Fun start to the game. Sadzin's clutch, Carson's clutch, and now we should be settling down into a 4-4 scoreline. Pretty speedy as well. 7 rounds played already.
Already, trying to thread the needle there. Didn't hit the shot, but spotted the player, so information gained. He says, guys, they might be underpass. And Carson, Util out at a bad time. Thought he might deliver the frags immediately. Does get one, and away pretty cleanly. Jeorge supporting as well. This should be okay for Nouns now.
They're all stuck in under, which is never nice. And Senior will force him back, and that nade, I think it was just an 83 damage nade there on Sadzin, considering, of course, no armor. It's always very difficult. They at least find Carson. 1 kill is something when you have a buy like this. 2 would be ideal. Can they find a way to get that? 2 PT50s to find it, but look at how Nouns are playing it. Literally, buddy system in mid. Carson, Junior and CJ are holding hands. Jeorge is in window to cover off them getting caught from top mid, and now they'll be alerted. Nice shot, Lato. Fair play. And I assume from there Jeorge didn't have a helmet, so that'll be why. That one more dink is nice, but not the kill on Junior. He takes it with the Tech 9 recovered onto the CT side. Very handy as the AWPer on CT to have that sidearm. And now the proper buy can come in.
All right, well, we're all knotted up now. Last time these two teams played up against each other here, it was Legacy coming out with that 13-7 victory.
24 days ago as well.
Yeah. Very, very recent.
That can be the case sometimes, can't it, in North America? Like, so much ECL, so much of these qualifiers to play. Some cups that are starting to become a thing as well. And that is showing why that mid-pinch that you were kind of talking about earlier, sometimes it fails, sometimes it works. It took a Dumao ridiculous triple kill to deny it last time. This time, none of that. That's a brilliant hold.
I mean, yeah, it's something that you know is coming from Nouns, but oftentimes you can't rebuff it because just so good at getting out there in your face. And Carson in particular, if he's doing well, if you see numbers for him on the scoreboard and frags coming through on Mirage, you know that Nouns are playing well. Like that's like the benchmark that I look at. And you see him here in second place in the team with 8, Jeorge at the top with 11. Part of that being that 2K and supporting his teammate on that push out towards mid. And they're still holding this mid control. I think Siege is a little at risk right now. Yeah, definitely. I think he spotted the player, though, and he's okay. CJ will take care of it, and Nouns will get a 5th for themselves on the board.
Legacy down to a similar buy that we've seen before. Lato sacrificing himself to be more of that utility guy. Actually does buy up a little bit more. I was going to say he had extra. He could have gone a bit deeper on the purchase and does. So he gets a PT50 and Kevlar to at least even his money up with the others. Looks like we are preparing for maybe an AWP to get into play on this T side finally, as Sadzin has kept a lot more cash in the bank. I'm going to go for a fast A pop by the looks of it with this util. They realise they had a decent plant last time. Can they get more than that this time?
Oh, Junior, an opener. CJ, the follow-up, and looking pretty strong right now for Nouns. They might be able to get that plant because of how many smokes are up on the Legacy side, but they're a little bottled in. Lato trying to hide in the smoke. Manages to get the frag onto CJ. That could open up a lot of space in the keys. Getting Carson. What indeed, because this could quickly flip around in Legacy's favor. They're on the back lines in towards CT. That's where the bomb is. I think Lato might have seen a sliver there. He gets the headshot on the Junior. Flicks around through the boxes and the keys on Jeorge and Rush, the last one standing.
Oh, I'd be pissed if I was Nouns after that one. You felt so comfortable. I mean, hang on, Rush. No, I was gonna say no armor on Neckers, no HP on Neckers is actually what I meant to say. He's got utility, and there will be a kit to pick up somewhere on the site, I do believe. He hasn't got one at the moment, though, and they should just be able to converge on his position. They'll realise he could be past that smoke. Now they know, and he can't even dive anywhere near that bomb. That's ridiculous. They just took so many duels. As soon as they get the 2 AKs into play, the way they take the next 2 straight-up aim duels was very hard for Nouns to face, and they got caught out.
Wow. Yeah, I think just the amount of smokes on the site as well really threw Nouns for a loop because it allowed Legacy to kind of worm their way through the bomb site and get into positions that Nouns just weren't expecting. And Lato just spamming through the smoke with the pistol, managing to get one, certainly helps.
Yeah, and Lato, once he obviously got that AK, when he was spamming through default box, once he saw the player next to Con, then that's when Neckers peaked with him. So obviously that was just good teamwork to figure out a tough situation like that. So much damage was done, and Neckers just took the straight up headshot anyway. Would have got the kill either way, but still, well played, and it looks like going to put even more pressure onto this A site now. CJ behind triple. Jeorge is flashing his way through, but he'll be removed, and CJ, oh my word. Neckers is 3 HP, but still gets both the kills.
That's wild. I mean, Neckers is just leading the charge right now in terms of these entry frags. Carson waiting behind over at Ticket. They know he's here, though. He's been here every round. Lato's got the Molotov lined up. The nade as well. Carson actually doesn't take that much damage. And he gets the frag. Then the follow-up by jumping on top of the box. Look at him go. The athlete here. Unfortunately for him, he does fall. And Barton finds the follow-up. And it's all Legacy afterwards. But still a nice effort from Carson.
It was a nice effort. I can tell you that in the last series, of course, these two teams played against each other in ECL. Of course, that's a back-to-back best-of-1 format, so it's just one map of Mirage. Legacy got 8 on the CT side. And in general, obviously, as you know, they've been farming at this level in in North America have Legacy. They have a 68% win rate on their CT half overall, which is incredible. So I do worry for Nouns going into all the second half. I would like to see them find a way to get this 6-6, but with the bye they have, it's going to be very tough.
No question. Junior. Got
Shadow.
the Eagle. Yeah, shadow advantage. So he knows someone's here. Can't hit the shot, though. I mean, it's really tough, right? You know the player's there, but you still have to find a way to get it on that angle. And unfortunately for Junior, wasn't there in time. But they know a player's here. Sadzin's holding it. Misses the shot. So now the pistol player, two options. Could either charge forward or go back. He's choosing to charge forward. And Sadzin has spotted him out. Insta shot. Nikis was supporting too. Really no chance at all for Junior. And now a 4v2 in favor of Legacy. As Nouns are pushing down mid.
They're going to find some semblance of control somewhere and maybe get some upgrades. That's what CJ's managed to do. Nice nab of the AK, but Legacy are playing this so smart right now. They know that Nouns can't just gamble. It's the last one of the half. They're going to have to go for something a little bit crazy perhaps and keep searching around the map. That's what they're doing. But Legacy have just completely paused, and as soon as Nouns gamble to have a look through underpass to clear out B, unfortunately, one, they've been wrapped on by Barden, which is even worse. And what is actually even worse than that is the fact they're planting on A. So, shame for Nouns. They had to try for something. Now, CJ is left last alive. What can he do? How many aim duels can he win? I think they could be aware of where he's coming from now as well. Barton will keep a close eye on this smoke as we get toward the final ebbs of this first half. CJ just waiting to see if one of these Legacy players will make a mistake, but I get the impression that is not going to be the case. Angle is now going to be held. It's a bit whiffy, but Button will take it. 2 kills on the round for him, and we'll see you after the break for half 2.
All right, we're back into it here. Legacy with a slim lead heading into this second half, 7-5 in their favor. But overall, it felt like they had the edge, as we were kind of expecting. As you can see, Barton getting a little excited and pumped up for this next half. But yeah, I think that it was the biggest problem that you brought up is that on the CT side for Legacy, it's been very, very strong for them, right? So, and Nouns having a losing CT side on their part is not going to help the matter.
No, you're spot on, and it makes me wonder what maybe they've kept a very close eye on how things have gone in the qualifiers, obviously, to see who they're going to face, and they've had to face Legacy a lot in recent times. It makes you wonder what the ideas have kind of been in the camp as to how to break this losing streak against them. I have to see if they have something to show on their T side. Sanzin is up with the dualies alongside Dumal. And those dualies could be about to come into action. He's going to have to be forced, actually, to push into a palace. And Jeorge will remove him. That's a good clear. Lato still toward default. And they're all good at, well, all waterfall out of the round, pretty much.
Wow. All right, nice and dominant there from Nouns. Jeorge, who we highlighted in the pregame, is one of those star players that Nouns has at their disposal, is proving his case here. 14 frags on the board, looking for a fourth potentially in the round here, and he'll find it. Barton, his latest victim, and there's the 6th round for Nouns. So good on them to come out firing out of the gate and get themselves one step closer to a tied scoreline.
That was great from Jeorge. There's a reason why he's very much spoken about in North America. If I was to pick a player that would maybe be the next up, we've seen how incredible Rek has been on M80. One more player to maybe make a jump up. I think Jeorge would be a choice of many. Rush doesn't get removed though, and oh my goodness, the aggression. Legacy holding W with the MP9s. 4 are in play in this round, and they've got an AK picked up. And look at Nekiz, man. What is that? That's pure confidence. He was 18 HP after his 2 MP9 kills, and he swings for the instant trade after he picks up the AK. Dumal sacrifices himself, but for a good cause.
That is something else from the Keys. I mean, taking a page out of Nouns' book pretty much, and I'd say they play Mirage in a similar way with that aggression on CT side, which is oftentimes what you need to do to find success, especially on the rounds where you might not have as much bot up here. The MP9 singing, in particular for Nikis, to get that 2K, and then one with the AK, leaving Carson and CJ kind of scratching their heads saying, what the heck just happened? How are we in this position? They can still do this, because those 3 MP9s might be a little less effective from range up against those Galils. I say that, but the MP9 can be really ridiculous if you know how to use it. Barton waiting here over at Van. Nikis with him. CJ gives away his position. Now finds one still, and not the second. Barton, MP9, does find the trade, although Carson gets on the site and makes it a 1v2. He's got to plant this bomb, and he's still super wary of Legacy being around any corner. Knows one is in market, and then sees the other one on Cat. That's a good push out by Sadzine. Getting up close and personal. I don't think Carson will expect the peak to come through, but he has to time it right. Carson jumping around towards the site, peering into Cat, and gets baited right into Sadzine's crosshair. There it is. Legacy win the round.
Wow. Incredible scenes. Once again, Legacy, just their pure firepower. And the key is looking incredible again. I mean, the first 2 of the MP9 were unlikely to begin with. The fact that after his teammate gets taken down after that double MP9 push, it's after he gets the AK, and he just is so confident. That's not a pre-aim you have to do too often in toward that TV room area. A little bit further forward, of course, not next to the TV, but it was not easy to hit. And, well, he's just looking fantastic right now. We'll deal with one of the pistols charging their way toward mid. Carson will manage to run down one, and there is the Galil to be picked up, but look at all the damage that's been done. He's now last alive. Nade will come through, but won't finish off Nekiz. Another kill for him, and Legacy up to 9.
Dumao hanging on to life there. I think he got headshotted from range with a Tech 9 down to 2 HP. But he is fine, and 4 players survived for Legacy, which is excellent news for any CT side in the early moments of a half, because it means their economy can stabilize quite significantly. And you look on the other side, Nouns, they don't have much of anything into this round. They're going for the straight-on eco. Only thing they've purchased up is a flashbang. That's it. Meaning that Legacy have a huge advantage, the potential to get another round under their belts with very few casualties, as long as they don't get too aggressive, which they had a tendency to do. But I think in this round, they'll realize, okay, there's not much that's going to be coming our way. Let's just wait for them to come to us.
Yeah, this is one of those rounds that is just purely for Nouns. One that they can talk about the next gun round, like you say. Legacy don't want to use any of their utility. They're actually making sure they hold on to it. They haven't pre-naded ramp or anything like that, as you can tell. Still got the HEs and the Molotovs. And we'll finally figure out how their aim is. If they're going to maybe one tap down a run boost. The flash comes through. It's well played. At least get the flash in play. But are they going to get a kill? At least they get that one kill. Dumao. That nade dunk. It won't. So they make sure they hand over the task to a teammate, keep Dumao alive, and that is looking very solid indeed. 4 up, and actually 4 up in the game as well, 10-6.
Yes, sir. Looking at that economy, Legacy have to be feeling pretty strong. And on the downside, this is an important one. They need to upset the apple cart a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to be another loss here on Mirage against Legacy for Nouns, who, like you said, I mean, multiple times they've been playing them and they just can't seem to find the answer. Sadzine, nice little movement there, getting his way all the way through ladder room. And out the door, checking out what's happening at top mid. In the meantime, Nouns have 3 players going through Palace. Lato could be in a world of hurt if he leaves himself exposed out in the open, but instead he's the one dealing out the damage, lines him up and knocks him down. 2K for Lato, and Rush, oh, I thought the nade would finish him off, but he's out alive at 26 HP. Junior and himself take a ton of damage just to find the one against Dumao, and I think this round is over. Indeed it is. I can't believe Lato gets that 2K so quickly and barely any damage taken in the process. Wow.
God, these guys hit different, man. And, you know, I had a chance to see them a couple of times, don't get me wrong, like in the past on their old teams and actually on Legacy a few times as well. We're going to have a chance to see them in the Thunderpick World Championship, of course, too, which will be very exciting up against some maybe a lot harder opposition. So that'll be fascinating, but you know, just seeing how they're playing here does make me excited for that future. I believe that, yes, they are. They are in the Americas RMR as well, so yeah, lots of opportunity for this Legacy roster to really make a mark. And they're doing that on Nouns right now. Once I saw that second nade come in toward Rush, I was like, oh my god, poor guy. Like, he's had no chance in this round. Bless him. I'm going to go for a fast pistol play here, Nouns, but Lato's incredibly clean. He might get absolutely pounded by nades, but he still finds 2 clean headshots. Nickers will come in and help out. There's an M4 above him. That's the teamwork you want. 1 player up, 1 player down, double peeking every single place you want them to double peek from. And it's 12-6.
All right. I got excited for a moment. I'm like, oh, yeah, nice headshot. Okay, it's over. So Legacy took care of business very handily. Yeah, exactly that. 12-6. They've doubled up on Nouns in terms of rounds. And they have 6 opportunities to close this one out and send us over to Dust2, which was Nouns' pick. But, I mean, it's not the strongest map for Nouns. They're serviceable there. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Legacy haven't played it that much. That's not necessarily an indicator that they can't play on the map. I mean, it's Dust2.
Exactly. Dust2 is just like, it's one of those maps where I feel like if teams, even if they haven't got great tactical depth on it, they can sometimes, off of pure aim, make a game of it, at least. Absolutely. Make a game of it. And don't get me wrong, like, I think there are some teams that play Dust2 and don't look too great on it right now. I think a great example, I was kind of talking about it with some of my lovely casting colleagues earlier, and yesterday actually. 9Z, currently playing the EU qualifier, of course, insistent on picking Dust2, even though they've lost like 9 in a row, I think, at this point. which is pretty crazy. They were insane on it in Dallas, of course, 9Z, and they've kind of lost their way since on Dust2. So they are maybe beating a dead horse on that one. It's horrible saying that, but it's the right one.
Jeorge,
Nice.
gonna put a beat down on the keys. 5v4 quickly for Nouns, so that's something to build off of. But immediately, just wide swinging a Sadzine in towards Khan and finds Carson. It's set through the smoke, but I believe he had some visibility on him. Either way, CJ going to get smoked out, but he's got the angle and should have the frag as well. Nicely done from CJ, and Jeorge on the other side from ramp gets Sadzine. So all of a sudden, this turns into a 4v2 in favor of Nouns.
Yeah, it should be okay. Of course, last time they played, like we were speaking about earlier, it was 13-7. So if they're able to get one more than that, then you know what? It's progress, isn't it? But I have to say, I think Legacy can smartly probably play aggressive exits here. They've got the money to do that. They're only one round away from losing as well. You know, if Button really wants to be extra cheeky, he could even go toward Palace. He's got a smoke. He could even try a ninja here. It's 12-6 up. It's one of those situations where you maybe would try and give it a go. But no, I think aggressive exits is the plan, and that is rightly the plan. Just limit Nouns' money as much as possible. Might force him into Galils in the next round. That's unfortunate. Good reaction from CJ. But it does actually do enough damage to get 2 more to die to the bomb, though.
Wow.
So that's genuinely huge.
That is a coup. Truly. Like, if you're going to lose a round in that situation, keeping as many bodies off of this next round for Nouns, or guns, I should say, out of this next round for Nouns and force them to reinvest is the best thing you could possibly have done. And Barton, not only does he get those 2 players out of the bomb, but he also keeps his gun alive. And the economy is way better right now for Legacy than it is for Nouns. You could see it. It hurt them. They have less utility than they would have had if those 2 players had survived. So let's see if they can still make it work here. There's some little details that obviously make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. Nade's going to get tossed forward. Oh, a little bit of damage on Jeorge and CJ. Barton is going to get a ton of information here in just a moment, and I think he already heard them. So, yeah, he's backing off here. Jeorge charging out, gets nothing. Dumal finds one siege at the immediate trade. Barton hoping to strike for something in return, but it's Sadzine finding Carson, and a nade. Touchdown for Nikis. 4v2 in favor of Legacy. Everything's happening so quickly. Molotov burning away at the feet of some of the Legacy players, but it's all down to Rush here up against Lato, Barton, and Sadzine.
Just got spooked by a ghost there as well.
Yeah.
That was awkward. He's having a bit of a rough game, is Rush, and sometimes you're so eager to do something good for your team that you'll just shoot at anything, even if it's, well, his own shadow. Rush can get this smoke down. And we'll block off the window. That's a jump throw that's banked off the wall, but he's going to get caught from short. Sadzine will take it. Actually, it's not from short, it's even from map, so tell a lie. The big flank with the AWP, that's something you're not going to expect, is it? And it seemed like a lot of things that Legacy put into place, Nouns didn't expect in general. That was very impressive.
Yeah, it was the same result as last time, right? 13-7 in favor of Legacy, so nothing really changed map to map. We thought for a moment right now in the mud and not really getting anything done at all. I would argue that Nouns kind of have been spinning their wheels a little bit over the last couple of months, for example. Yes, they're getting results, they're getting wins and stuff like that in Challenger League and in some qualifiers, but they haven't really gotten to those big events again. And I think this would be a great opportunity for them to find a path to Katowice and actually get through this close qualifier and win it. But right now it's not looking good in that respect. Legacy already up 1-0 as we jump into Dust2 to see if they can make it a 2-0 win or if Nouns can push us to map number 3.
Oh, the Mao Doolies. 2 guns are better than 1. We know he's a fast clicker, and in the end, maybe a little bit too fast on that second. Gets taken down. CJ has been tagged down to 14, though, but Nickers actually will get caught by Jeorge. That's a good reaction for his second kill of the round, and I think they know a bit about the positioning of Legacy right now. They are setting up in mid, and you know what? Jeorge has shot 3 bullets and hit 3 headshots pretty much in this round thus far. That is very clean start for him. Looking for a fourth. Could even be on for the ace here in a different universe. Will it be this one? He's got one bullet left. He's taking up so much of Lato's time right now, which means it could work out. Fresh reload, but will get removed. And they're trying to make their way up towards short instead. And that could be risky with CJ's low HP. Judy's going to get caught. Uh-oh, problems.
That's that inconsistent jump height again coming through as Junior couldn't get over the wall. Now Lato blindsides Carson with a bullet to the dome. No way this falls apart. Nouns will get a bomb plant at the very least, but CJ, 14 HP. Yeah, that's not going to be nearly enough. The headshot comes through on top of it. Overkill from Lato, who he himself gets the 4K that Jeorge was so very eager to find, but didn't happen. And, well, somehow Legacy find a way to victory there.
Oh, that Xbox jump hurt to watch there.
It's not even his fault, though, because, like, I know from first-hand experience that it's just not consistent. Like, you could make a perfect jump, but it's not registering correctly on the server.
Yeah. Obviously, that they fixed the boosting recently, which is all well and good, right? But it's still some of these weird pixel jumps, which is like, can be like that sometimes. I think we saw, I can't remember who it was, but it was definitely an S-tier tournament and match where I saw another player, fall foul of that and almost not get the bomb down in time because of it. I think it might have been, it was definitely like, maybe it was a VP game, I'm not sure. But it was definitely a game where they had to try and get the bomb towards short quickly, and the jump was fumbled, and they only got it down by like half a second. So it's something that does maybe need to be looked at. We'll see. Following round, there are scouts in play. It's Dust2. Would you expect anything less? Nouns have got one on Junior. They've got 2 Galils, and a Deagle, and a Tech 9. And decent util as well. They're preparing for a long play at 1:10 to go.
Yeah, Legacy's set up for this. They got Lato tucked in very deep at plat here. And then, I should say, close corner. And then Sadzine manages to connect on the shot. He's watching those double doors towards long. Rush down to 11 HP. This is fantastic for Legacy now. They're just farming away, finding everything. No real damage done from Nouns. And only Junior left standing is going to get blindsided by Lato's dualies. There we go. A second on the board for Legacy. And Lato has a second consecutive 4K in a row.
Oh, goodness. You've seen record. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it just yet, but all I'm going to say is that if records were to be broken, that's the kind of start you need to have. We've seen ridiculous ones lately in Pro League, of course, and in for the longest game, of course, and then of course kill tally from Donk, and I think it was Poi on Eyeballers as well. Oh. Sadzin with the Galil. 35 bullets in that Galil. Using it to good effect. Isn't going to peek for any more, though. Actually, playing a little bit safer against the expected eco. Just 3 more P250s. Mainly the threat to find. Can, of course, let you guys know that, as expected, Wildcard are doing very well against Marca Registrada, the Mexican team. Mexican/Venezuelan team, so to be said. They won the first map 13-4 and now 6-2 up in map 2. So we could get that very interesting Legacy wildcard matchup.
Certainly would be a good one to watch if it happens. We can't count Nouns out yet, but I still have to kind of double take that scoreboard here and really say, what, 0 for Nouns? It just feels like they should have had that pistol, right?
I know.
It felt like a done deal. Anyway, Sadzine. Want to get a bit of spam here from the Galil. And maybe a bomb plant. Yeah, definitely a bomb plant. This is nice from Nouns, and still 4 players up, so a chance at potentially finding a way to victory here. It certainly won't be easy. It'll involve a lot of nice pistol headshots and, well, surviving this barrage of util that will almost certainly come through, and bullets, and, well, Rush only gets 1 and it's over. So 4 players survive. At least they get the bomb plant, though, if you're Nouns.
If they had armor on the P250s, I would have given them a shot. But then the nades came in, and I think that basically not only tagged 3 players at once on the first one, it killed 1 on the second nade. So, yeah. Tough. 1 kill on a plant is good on a round like that, though. That's absolutely mission complete. course, on a map that very much favours an AWP. We've got it out on Sadzin ASAP.
No question. Yeah, Dust2 is an offer's paradise. CJ charging right out and gets the headshot. I thought he was blinded enough that he wouldn't be able to see that, but no. Able to find one, finally traded out by Nikis here. CJ, excuse me, no, he wasn't. It was Nikis finding Rush. CJ's still alive behind that smoke and gets, in fact, Carson getting two. CJ's just standing around waiting for his teammates to bail him out of dodge, and absolutely they do. Sadzin and Barton, the last two standing. Barton's on a flanking mission here. It's being watched by Carson. And I think Barton's dead to rights as soon as he comes around this corner with the shadow advantage, and Carson with the AK. Should be done. It is not. Carson pre-fires too soon. 2v2 now.
Now then.
No.
They've got enough util as well, Nouns, to make something out of this. It should be fine to be able to cross. But the problem is everyone's going to be here to fight. They're going to now shift their way through. A good smoke towards short and a good crouch, actually, to avoid the AWP shot and avoid it once that smoke goes up as well. Of course, Spartans does have that defuse kit. They've got an incendiary and they've got a smoke as well. It looks like they're going to go for a double long play. They've shown their hand with that AWP shot towards short, and they're making sure they're going very quick on that long play. Sadzin will be able to switch off to the AK as well to make him a little bit more maneuverable in this retake. Now one hand will be shown toward long, and that's a lovely burst. It's going to be difficult for CJ, and that was, as near as damn it, perfect.
Oh, yeah, that was absolutely gorgeous coming through from Legacy. I love the call, right? Just showing a lot of face towards Cat and then immediately doubling back. Not one, but both players going to long. They give away the fact that they're there with the flashbang that's tossed, but Nouns just couldn't hold on to the bomb site. Some very critical shots because they had gone for that push, right? One player all the way down towards Cat, so he's kind of out of position to receive those long players, and you saw that as he was the first casualty. And then afterwards, the one behind single box, just no chance at all. Very nice setup from Legacy coming on through. So we head into round number 5. Junior staring down mid with the AWP finally in his hands. Has a big goose egg on the board. He wants to change that. And Jeorge, in fact, will get the opener here onto Lato. Nikis down to 8 HP. That is Junior, I believe, through the double doors in mid, tagging him, but not finishing the job.
Oh, they're still here ready to fight, though. Look at Demau. He's up so far. He's going to have so many players on his screen. And look at the damage he's just done.
My God.
What on earth? They might still lose this round. I mean,
I don't know.
Wow. Junior's done really well to at least get that kill back. It's a 4v2, but they're all walking wounded.
The thing is, Nikis has a nade. Is he on Cat? I think he's in C. No, he is on Cat. Oh, no. Oh, he throws it too early.
No.
Oh, no, that could have been the coup de grace, but it's not. CJ going to find the keys. Now it's up to Barton. Still possible, right, with the low HP players. And now it's all low HP players. Okay, hold the phone. Bomb planted. Barton with 72 health. Very doable. Gets the spam through the box. Looking around mid, expecting a player to be there, but no one's home. So now he's going to peek around long, see if he can get it done. Junior's got the op. Long range. Here comes Barton. Gets one. Tries to flick for the last one. Barton on for the 1v4 clutch. Makes his way all the way to the bomb site. It's not really planted for long either. And Barton's just going to hold the defusal. He's going to win the round. Legacy clutch it out. And all that damage done at the beginning by Dumau ends out.
He's killed him as well.
And he killed him.
And Junior can't even rebuy the AWP either. None of them can rebuy the AWP.
Was it Lato or Dumau did the damage? Maybe it was Lato, actually. Excuse me. But that damage was so critical, right? Like, yes, you're in a 1v4, but like you mentioned, walking wounded.
Oh my goodness. The way they lose that round is not any of the damage they took. It's not any of the how they even played the afterplan. It's Junior missing that shot in pit with the AWP. Like, he's got the favorable angle. He's on a headshot position. He's got a sort of a mini crossfire with Rush. He knows the swing's coming in. It's a must-hit shot on a favorable angle, even on low HP. And that was his chance to get it done there and then, and he couldn't.
I'm just surprised he doesn't re-peek as well, right? Because the bomb's not planted for him.
Yeah.
So he kind of needs to take the initiative and get that frag before Barton manages to make it up ramp, because by the time he's there, I mean, it's over. There's really very little chance of success. So a couple of mistakes perhaps for Junior in the round, but I can't say we can necessarily fault him alone.
I
Like
know,
everyone
I know.
else. Like it was a
But
4v1. But I agree. Like
thi-
that's it's pretty rough.
the thing is that Barton kind of played it to perfection, right? Like, he plays
He
new
did,
box, he
yeah.
takes the high HP player first, and then Junior, I mean, oh, sorry, the second player on site, I forget who it was, he's just stuck behind the box and can't move. Like, and that, obviously that box is very wallbangable, and Barton knows that. So, Nouns were purely off of that damage in a way. Kind of, even though they had the advantage, had the bomb down, had all the positioning, in a way, at a very tough position, even with the numbers available, and sadly, player numbers, sure, but not HP numbers, and that was the biggest issue.
Let's sink our teeth into this round now. 43 seconds left, still no casualties for Nouns or Legacy, and that could change right here. It absolutely does. Lato continues to go on his tear for a 12th frag, throws the nade, does more damage, finally falls. Carson, nice headshot on Jeorge as well, giving his team the 4v3 advantage very briefly until Dumao finds the immediate trade. But the A site has been successfully taken here as Nouns are going in on the post plant, and the bomb is ticking away for Cat, I believe.
Plenty of time to deal with this, but Rush, he's got support on short here. They could double swing together. There's going to be some nades coming through, but they are going to try it. Oh, but it seems a little bit mistimed, and it might get punished. It will. Dumao, 3 in the round. Carson's trying to fight for this one. He's now been spotted out too. Damage is significant.
No.
Now it's on the Legacy side, but there's a chance for possibly to just get this defuse done and dusted. Carson, he finds Dumao. He's now looking for Sadzin, but Sadzin takes it. But there is no defuse kit on Sadzin, unlike his teammate. And he might die to the bomb too. Oh, he's a lucky boy. He'll save the AWP, but fair play Nouns. They find a way to get their first round, and it was well played.
Yeah, still that one hurts a bit for Nouns because they lose every single player.
Yeah.
So yeah, you win the round, but now you have to rebuy into what won't be the best of situations. They're settling for Galil's again to make sure that utility comes out. I think Rush will go for the... No, he doesn't. I'm surprised. So no AKs at all. They just go for the Galil's in order to get that full belt of util across all the players. Curious.
It's something you got to do, really, isn't it? Unfortunately, we know the Galils can be
Yeah.
strong. It's actually it's very weird seeing that purchase. The fact that it's all of them, but it obviously makes sense. No one survived,
Yeah.
so
I would argue at least one AK just to have that firepower available on one player. But I get it as well, you know, going for the util belts. It's so critical.
Galils are just so good. That's the thing. Like
They
for
are.
1800, it's always a great option. But I do agree. I think one AK would have been lovely. You know, a lot of this utility they have might not necessarily be required. I feel like you can gamble on the pure one-tap AK. But Sadzin, he could be walking into the blender here. Junior is on the angle. Of course, he's got the bomb as well. He's been spotted out. The rifle is in position of Barton, but unfortunately, Rush will catch him. So that is a very good start to the round, and now they know what's in front of them. Can they get past the AWP? Sadzin's missing shots right here. Finally makes up for it, but he's not got many bullets left. It's a lot of damage, but now he's low as well, and Rush will find it. It should be safe.
Alrighty. Oh, Lato getting one. This is getting a little messy potentially, and Akis is pinching in from tons. Nade goes out. Will that do damage? Yeah, it does to Carson. Now he swings out after throwing a flashbang. Can he find one? Ooh, taps towards Rush. Then finds the frag. 2v2. They could be on for the retake here. This was a 2v4 that is suddenly falling apart for Nouns. The Key's putting a ton of pressure on, but that is Junior taking the initiative to get one down to a 1v1, but he wins it this time, making amends for that previous round when he could not find the shot with the AWP.
And he gets one back as well by picking it up off the ground. So what goes around comes around in Counter-Strike. Well done, Junior. I appreciate how he played the 1 versus 1. In the end, he doesn't play it safe. He plays it assertive, knowing, of course, that Nekis has to run his way through and on low HP as well. So big off angle, instant headshot. Perfectly done.
Interesting little stack up here towards mid. I should say in dark or Nouns. Not mid. Anyway, Nikki's going to go down to Jeorge. And yeah, they're just trying to make those pistols work out. But as it stands, nothing doing so far for Legacy. They will be flashing out into long doors, trying to charge out. Carson waiting with the AK. Great flashbang thrown, so he could be dead here, but no, supported by Junior very well, who gets 2 quick ones, and Lato, last one standing. Probably not for long. Ooh, Junior has managed to get away.
Oh baby, Lato 1v5. He's the bomb's being planted at B on B, I'm afraid, Lato. Not much he can do about that. I appreciate Nouns realising the situation of the economy. That's a nice shot, actually, long range on Rush. But obviously they did have a lot of Mac 10s in this round. So they can't really afford, it's not like it's the end of the half or anything, they can't really afford just to throw these Mac 10s away and go for an AK. So they're still going to have 2 in this round. So do they keep it pacey? Do they try a fast play toward B? I'm sure Legacy will know that there's still at least 1 Mac 10 in play here when it comes to the monetary situation. So what will they be ready for? Will they be ready for pace, or will Nouns just play it like a normal default?
We'll see. I mean, those jumping Mac 10 shots can be very frustrating to be up against, so we'll see if Nouns decide to go for that pacier play. I think it's the best call, honestly. But Junior, he has been doing a great job so far over at Dark on T-Spawn, managing to get the opening frags a couple of times. Nikki's does get a trade on Carson. They are going for that pacier play you talked about, Trav.
Nice.
And it works! Jeorge, headshot on a Barton. East side cleared out, and now smoked out in the double doors. Nikki's walking through this, doesn't realize there's a player on his left side, and he actually gets the bomb planter, but Rush manages to get the 2 follow-up frags and makes it only Lato left standing. Nouns, great recovery here, and Junior, again, solid in the round. 2K for him, 4th round for Nouns.
Excellent from Nouns. This is a really nice rebuttal from them, and that was a well thought out round. Once Junior got that pick, they didn't, waste any time. I mentioned about playing with pace. They didn't just straight up rush. They went on a timing which they thought was right, and it was. And they pounced toward B. It was perfect. Overran the site player, and the reward is a round against, well, only 2 players with Kevlar and pistols to try and get it back to 5 apiece. And I feel like they've, especially after losing that 1 versus 4 to Barton, they've kind of reset mentally very quickly and well.
Yeah, not always easy to bounce back from that. Certainly. This Legacy. 1 for a half by here. It's not too bad. I mean, you got a couple of 5.7s in the mix, 2 PT50s, the MP9, and Nikki's and Dumao have armor. Nikki's this is a bit of a cheeky spot here. Pushed out of mid on the opposite side of Xbox. CT side Xbox, I should say. And I don't know if CJ clears this at all. He's just hiding. Oh, he does. In fact, Carson spots him. He says, what do you think you're doing here? That'll do it for that attempt. 5v4 for Nouns with 49 seconds left on the clock.
I feel like if you wanted to be extra cheeky and maybe you were close friends with your opponent, you could just say to CJ, check your corners, bro. Carson saved you, man. Come on. But,
Yes.
yeah, this one should be safe from here now. The main threat's kind of been removed, especially in that position too. 30 seconds, obviously, is slightly worrying, and there are 3 players around A, but only 1 on the site itself, so it's going to have to all be Dumao, with the help from Long, possibly, but it's going to be difficult, and that's a good reaction and adjustment from Jeorge. Keeping up his form from the previous map, even though it was a comfortable win for Legacy. He was kind of the main man that looked good. Calm from Rush, even though he's getting pinched from the other side as well. He takes Barton 2, well done, and after basically a complete difference from what we saw earlier when Nouns had to go for that full Galil round, of course, because they had no money after surviving with no one alive. Now they've won that round with all 5 alive, and they're bursting with money for the end of the half.
Well, that's good news for them. 5 in a row for Nouns to respond to the 5 in a row that Legacy started with, which knots us up once more. Both first halves have been very tightly contested. It was the second half on Mirage that just went Legacy's way pretty much entirely. So we'll see if that happens again here. But as it stands, double op setup coming through for the first time in the half. And Jeorge misses a couple of big ones there. Double op from both sides, in fact. Wow. That's interesting. I mean, it's Dust2, so it's possible. Usually T side wants to go for 1 op max, not double op, because it gets you in a bit of a tough spot when you need that movement and mobility. Dumao going to get one. Carson tagged down to 19. Will the nade finish him off? It will not. He survives with 9 HP and fades off.
Oh, that's well played by Dumao, though. Playing that spot as he was, of course. Junior seemingly a bit unaware that legs can be spotted first through the bottom portion of that wall, of course, and when you slow peek it, it's very easy to get caught off guard, and that's exactly what will be the case. But knows what's coming and into the smoke, will break it open, and CJ, he may hit a nice shot, but he's traded straight away. Carson now 9 HP. He knows he can go for this round. There's no point in saving. It's the last round of the half coming up next, and they've got more than enough money. This is a nice little end to the streak from Legacy, putting pay to Nouns' hopes of a lead on the half.
Oh, when Carson is done, Barton gets the final blow here. So at the very least, Legacy have ensured that Nouns won't take a lead into the second half. Will they once more have a 7-5? Something that's probably crossing their minds here. Nouns, they did have that cushion you mentioned, so they'll get a full buy up here. 4 AKs and the AWP will be coming through. I think they probably even could have afforded the double op again, but it didn't really pan out on that previous round, so they decide against it. Who can't afford the double op is apparently Legacy, or I think this might be a conscious choice, because they had 2 still standing in that previous round. They may have just decided the AK, double AK setup is a little more potent than having the 2 ops, interestingly. Barton, well, he gets a bullet right to the dome, and this B-side could be lost. It absolutely is not, I would say, because Dumao from double doors gets one. Great nade, and finally there's the B-side taken by Nouns.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Jeorge there, playing the headshot angle on low HP as well to get his 3rd kill of this one. CJ's making a lot of noise. Oh, hang on. CJ's made a lot of noise, and unneeded noise as well, running back through tunnels to help his teammate. Maybe he thinks he's needed a bit more than he actually is, and now the flank will be very fast from Lato. CJ is going to consider it right now and actually just swings straight for it. That is very surprising. And he gets away with the kill, and then, of course, Sansin will not be allowed to make his way through window. Well done, Nouns. Good half. We'll see if they can continue it after the break.
Alrighty, as close as we can be here heading into the second half, all knotted up at 6. Legacy letting a 5-round lead slip away entirely, and Nouns went on a 6-1 run to close out that half after big disappointments in their pistol round where they had a significant edge thanks to Jeorge's 3K, and everything slipped away, we thought. And after that, of course, a clutch was coming through, or a couple of clutches came through on the Legacy side, and we felt like the mental might not have been there for Nouns. Well, they proved us wrong.
Yeah, Nouns actually quite impressed with that. What? Oh, well played, Junior. That's one of the hardest shots to hit in the game, of course. Backs turned, USP, Glocks moving. Thankfully, they were standing still preparing utility, so he's able to get 2 and fall away. That is perfect from Junior, but the round is not done. He manages to get it off to a great start. Rush needs to deliver, though. He's going to get caught by Barton. Neckers will find Carson as well, and it's all falling apart despite all the information they had. And Junior, he may have got 3 in this round, but none of his teammates could help.
Oh, Jeorge. Can he salvage this? Okay, nice shot into Nickies. Can he finish the job? Jeorge is trying so hard here to get himself on in, but can't. Lotto deals the killing blow, and I mean, just feels like winning a pistol round is a challenge for Nouns at this point, because you got a monster flank from Junior. He gets 2 frags, walks away without dying, so a 5v3, and they still can't close it. That's 2 pistol rounds in a row where they've had monster plays from Jeorge in the first one, from Junior in the second one, and they've let it slip away. So Legacy, very happy to find their way through that, and they will immediately go to the rifles, 4 Galils and the AK. Looking at Nouns, they are on the 4 spy. They got 3 pistols. That scout could be doing some damage in Junior's hands, and then the MP9 for Rush here, Trav.
I actually feel super bad for Junior in that round, because I'm amazed he gets that big flank, and it's so rare you get that big flank and no one's looking at you, especially that early in the round. That was loud. Someone's having fun outside. But yeah, I think the fact he gets a 3rd as well, even though he was obviously trying to work his way back in elsewhere after that. Junior, he doesn't know there's a pit player. Oh, they're going to try a boost. I love that. Oh, he's going to judge it though. Oh! No! It's so hard to judge.
Wow, so close yet so far. Rush does manage to get a trade onto Barton, so that's a Galil upgrade if he wants it. But right now he's sticking to the MP9 because he doesn't know who might be around that corner. In the meantime, Nikis tries to move his way up Cat and takes a ton of damage, ends up going down. But it's Sadzine and Dumao who take care of business on the rest of the players. Rush, the last one standing. He is all the way towards B tunnels, and now he is sprinting towards T-spawn. I don't think he really gets involved here, though, because the money's very bad on the Nouns side, so probably just waiting for exits.
Ah, man. Those ones are so hard to deal with, because obviously, like, you know that your opponent can't actually see you in that split second because he's not moving. He's jiggling like normal. But it's not even the full head. It's the hairline.
Sliver. Yeah.
You're aiming at the hairline, and you can't complete the haircut, I'm afraid. Legacy are in pole position now to get this one done in 2. Rush will at least save the Galil. It means that they'll have something to work with in this next round. How do they activate him? He's going to drop his incendiary over to CJ. A few nades around it. They can afford that, but not much more. Maybe a nade stack. They do have 3 bought up.
He's tossing that smoke. Bit of a dangerous spot to throw that smoke from. But anyway, Legacy in the meantime are going for some long control, and they're taking a ton of damage up against what was just pistols. Okay. Keys, does he get caught out? Oh, Rush is looking the other way. Now he turns around, says maybe someone's coming mid. They are, but it's too late anyway. Nikis flies around that corner, insta headshot, and now it's just the pistols. Probably going to be a bit of a farm for Legacy, even though they have 3 players that are kind of low. It still is only USPs with no armor, and as you guys can tell from the kill feed, it is all Legacy here as expected.
Can confirm that wildcard awaiting. They did make it through comfortably, as expected, in that first round against the Mexican-Venezuelan mixed team. That's going to be a hard one for that roster in that lower bracket for sure. I would be expecting a similar result, I'm afraid, even though they are trying their best and they had a brilliant run. Bless them. Carson will do well to save this Galil here. I think Legacy will realise what's going on and maybe could choose to hunt on maybe 2 more players, but they want to keep their T economy pretty solid, so it all depends where Carson moves to.
He's making a lot of noise, and I'm fairly certain Dumao heard that. Yeah. Could be trying to bait Peaks out in this situation. We'll see. But Carson tucked into car now. Well, there's 2 players closing in on him. I don't think he survives this. Not even close. Sadzine, as soon as he spots his head, flicks up, and no gun saved over. It doesn't really matter because Nouns are going to have enough money to buy up anyway, but I think that it would have been better if he saves the Galil, because then you get at least a little bit of an economic cushion on one player that can help you out in following rounds. Anyway, Legacy up 9-6. So far, flawless here in this second half, but it is the first time we're going to see Nouns get a proper buy-up.
Sadson trying to hold the close angle. Deep smoke. Actually will force him away. Junior trying to do the same. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a teammate with him to go for that classic boost in toward lower. Now, maybe you're going to try it now, though. Actually, Jeorge is up close, but oh no, he goes for a peek a bit deeper. Maybe that baits him into Junior, though. There is a chance that could work out, and he does advance once he realizes Molotovs are being thrown, and he doesn't just get 1, he gets 2.
How is Junior alive? He goes down anyway with the bullets, but that nade landed right next to him, and he survives with 2 HP until the overkill from the headshot there and lowers required. And Barton manages to find himself a second one. Sadzine's waiting for the repeat from Carson, and Rush is the last one. Legacy just picking apart all the pieces of the puzzle. And Rush, well, what can he possibly do here? Yes, he has some control of the bomb. I think he's aware of the fact that it's on Cat and it has to be picked up by Legacy, but there's only so much he can do. And there are a couple of smokes here for Legacy. You have to imagine they'll throw 1 for mid in this situation. Rush, waiting. Just biding his time.
He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Just depends how quickly and how close he can get. Oh, for goodness sake. Has it been heard?
Heard it. No.
No. Okay. But he's smoked off. That's a shame. I was going to say, if he wasn't smoked off, then he could maybe even have had 2 free kills and maybe even reset for the 3rd. But he has seen the AWP, of course. So he probably will want to try and save it. And actually, don't think that's been heard. He's going to make his way away and to safety. So that's quite a small factor there from Rush, but it's quite smart what he does. Obviously, like you'd think he'd probably want to keep his M4 close and maybe go for a duel in case he gets faced, but he drops it far enough away so it's not heard falling onto the ground. So he can pick up the AWP and get away silently. So small detail, but well done.
Yeah, little things like that, they make a big difference, honestly, and I definitely agree with you. It's so important to make sure, like in those situations, that you're paying attention to those small details, because if he doesn't, perhaps the peak comes through sooner and he can't get away. Instead, Legacy do realize it eventually. Maybe they heard a little bit of a footstep at some point, but it was far too late. Rush was already hightailing it the heck out of there. So, you know, it's a little thing to save the AWP, because Legacy have 4 rounds in a row. It's something that'll help them into this next round, but do they justify a full-on buy-up? I think they should. I mean, Rush can buy an M4, drop it on the ground for someone. Carson and Jeorge should be okay to get maybe FAMASas and util. This buy-up, that's what they're talking about right now, probably should happen, especially with the scoreline the way it is. It looks like they're going to go for a half buy instead, though, which I can't say I mind either, but yeah.
I get it. It's understandable. They obviously realise they're now 10-6 behind and time's running out. May as well try your best when you've got something to buy around the junior AWP. Give it a go. Oh, wow. That's just super well done, isn't it? Ducking at the right time, diving at the right time, and shooting at the right time.
What can you do there, honestly? Jeorge, waiting with the op here. Oh, excuse me, scout. And that's not enough. Dumao will take care of him. The op is still up in Junior's hands. Where is he playing? He is all the way towards A. So this is not the best of positioning for him. Crossfire for CJ and Rush is good, but there's going to be util. That Molotov forces CJ out of the corner. Rush manages to get a trade, but they know where he is. They're going to keep spamming on Ford until he's dead. Well, maybe he won't die. He gets a second, and finally, there it is. Through the smoke set scene, somehow tracks him, and it will be Junior, the last one standing with the big green, as mentioned. It wouldn't be a bad idea for him to fade off here and just go for the straight save, because the next round is going to be a proper buy-up.
Man. Nouns, they've tried, I feel like, a lot in this game to get one over on Legacy once and for all. They've been in a position to change the veto up with this particular map, of course, of Dust2. And, you know, it's seemingly being Legacy's, I guess, poorest map. It's not their strength, that's for sure. Unfortunately, it's still looking like it's purely a bogey team for Nouns, isn't it, Legacy? Yeah, can't find a way past them. Another good round dealt with by Legacy.
Yeah, I would say the only map that's worse for Legacy here is Vertigo.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, Dust2, they just don't play it much. I think that's more what it is. They haven't had, like I was saying before, the worst of results. Sadzine is going to be coming out here. Nouns are in huge trouble. I mean, look, Legacy's already on this side. Junior and CJ managed to get a couple, but I feel like Legacy can still overload, and Dumao will do exactly that. 2 frags come through. Molotov lined up for window. This means a plant is pretty much assured. They do have to get Sadzine out of the tunnels to grab that bomb, and he absolutely will. Planting it down to dirt. 3 HP for him, but that doesn't matter because he's rocking the AWP, so it's okay. Jeorge, chance to engage with Lato, who's hiding behind the pillar here in the upper tunnels. Bomb ticking away. He overlooks it. Oh, what a time for Lato to peek. It's just absolutely perfect. Junior and Carson last 2, and Lato's going back for more. He wants seconds, and he's got him. Carson gone. Junior the last one, and again, he's completely locked out. Could be dead too.
Oh, yeah, that's just hard. Even that is just so well thought out. You know, peek it from the box on a weird angle like that, knowing it's Junior's AWP, right? Knowing it's a harder shot to hit to try and, you know, keep him from saving the AWP. And sure, he can reinvest, can Nouns, but this is just so good from Legacy, and they're kind of keeping up the form that we saw from the previous map in terms of their individual level as well. Lato's 20 and 9 at the moment. Everyone is having moments. Sure, Nick is you know, 12 and 15 is the only one not positive, but does that matter? Not one iota. And I think Wildcard will be watching right now very intently, knowing what they're up against next.
Well, I mean, there's still a chance Nouns can come back into this one. Can't count them out just yet. But, I mean, Legacy are just so fast. They're right in Nouns' face before they can even realize. I mean, Barton was past, excuse me, Necky's was past Barton. Or CJ, I can't even speak. They're going too fast for even me. Mal's taking care of everything. This one's done. It is, in fact, done. because Carson and Jeorge, the last two standing, and the bomb site's already been taken here. They've got a lurk even on the Legacy side, which
Good
could
molly.
blindside both Carson and Jeorge. Yeah, the molly's fantastic, and by the time Carson and Jeorge line up their plan here, they could be taken out from the player coming around from mid, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Zadzine and Dumao take care of it, 13-6 in favor of Legacy. They dominate here in this BO3, Travis.
And just kind of as expected, unfortunately, for Nouns, right? I mean, we came into this one expecting a sort of result like that because that's what's gone before. We wanted to see something different from Nouns. We did. They went for Dust 2, but they kind of got blown